You left the Blaze. You had a big blow up with our friends over the Daily Wire. And you kind of went dark for a while as you got your next act in order. And now it's in order. So what are you doing?
Yeah, well, to be clear, too, by the way, I didn't get into a blow up with Daily Wire, right? They kind of outed themselves. I talked about there were a lot of suitors. And you know this, too.
You
there
didn't
were a
name
lot
them
of
in your first bit.
Right. And there were a lot of suitors. There were a lot of contracts that were offered. You can only discuss the ones, or term sheets where there aren't NDAs. But this is a problem that happens on the right. And look, you know this because you've also worked at Fox News. You've also worked at other networks. These type of ownership contracts that are unfair and take control of your properties, your social media in perpetuity. The issue that I always had. And yeah, I signed, just to be clear, I signed a contract with a company called CRTV in 2015, and then they purchased the Blaze, and it was this whole thing, right, where they kind of, I don't know how to explain. It doesn't matter. It's boring. The point is, Mug Club is officially coming back March 20th. March 20th, the price has been lowered to $89. People can go to louderwithcreditor.com/Mug Club, and we're adding twice the content. So now there's a Friday show.
Just explain what that is. Just explain what that is and the difference between Mug Club and Louder with Crowder, so people who don't follow you that closely understand.
Yeah, well, so what it is so we do a show, Monday through Thursday. We've been doing this for a long time, and people watch an hour for free on YouTube. And then there's an additional, or Rumble, by the way, and I highly recommend they watch with Rumble. Rumble is the company that is powering Mug Club. So I think it's the biggest sort of modern agreement, I guess, talent agreement. We use that term loosely, but signing of a conservative talent in history, as far as sort of these online mergers right now with Rumble. And I'll tell you why we went with Rumble. But basically, Mug Club is, we don't have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 live reads. We've been demonetized on YouTube for a very, very long time. It also makes us impossible to find on YouTube. So we have Mug Club, and that's where people subscribe, they pay, and they get an additional full hour of show every single day, along with chats, along with perks. And by the way, it's what keeps the free show going. As we relaunch, we've signed now comedians to tape their specials. Brian Callen, we're talking with 3 other people. Mr. Guns and Gear, one of the biggest YouTube channels out there. Really well respected in the space. He's going to be doing a show weekly or bi-weekly. We'll be adding a Friday show, and we're signing new talent as we speak. And the beauty of it is we framed the contract. So people are out there, if you're watching, if you're listening, and we've had conversations with quite a few people. I don't want any ownership over your platforms, and I don't want any ownership over your subscribers. If you decide this isn't the right fit for you and you want to leave, you leave. You take your people, you go on your merry way. It's a new way of doing business. And the real reason, too, that Rumble was such a great fit. And I believe that you put some of your episodes, I don't know if they go on Rumble, but a lot of people...
Rumble.
Okay. So Chris over there and Asaf, they're really great guys. Here's the thing. Rumble, we have not had, like a professional working relationship, aside from a friendship, really, when we started, where we were just using them as a hedge with YouTube because, we had 2, 3, 4, 5 suspensions on YouTube beyond being demonetized. So it ended up being a mirror of YouTube as a channel. And then a lot of creators started doing that. And then their user base started getting very, very large. And then we saw on the election night where we were suspended, right? Our entire channel was suspended off of YouTube completely. And we crashed their servers because we had 400,000 live viewers at any given second that night, not including over on Mug Club at that point. And I get excited when I see the transition from the live viewers on YouTube, where it goes from, 120,000 on YouTube, and then the next day it goes down to 80, but there's 40 on Rumble. And then all of a sudden, there's more on Rumble and less on YouTube. Here's the thing. No one should aim to be banned from YouTube. That's not what we're doing. But we need to be able to speak the truth. And the issue that I ran into, and this is the kind of thing that keeps me up at night, is when you're knocking on doors and you have people who are presenting these contracts with golden handcuffs, and you realize that they are punishing conservative content creators on behalf of big tech. I'm borderline obsessive. The reason for my raison d'etre is to fight big tech and be a thorn in their side, especially now when this new Mohan guy is a CEO on YouTube. People don't know this. You think, hey, it's out of the furnace into the fire. Is that the term, or is it out of the, I don't know. I think it's out of the furnace into the fire, which doesn't, out of the frying pan into the fire. That's right.
There might be a salami involved too. Mudwater is a coffee alternative with 4 adaptogenic mushrooms and Ayurvedic herbs. With only a fraction of caffeine as a cup of coffee, you get energy without the jitters or the crash that comes from coffee. Each ingredient was added for a purpose. Cacao and chai for mood. Doesn't cacao always stop you in your tracks? You don't often see it written, but cacao and chai for mood, and just a hint of caffeine, just a hint. Lion's mane to support focus. I should have had that before I read this ad. Cinnamon for antioxidants, and much, much more. Mud is Whole30 approved, 100% USDA organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher certified. Mudwater donates monthly to the Berkeley Center for the Science of Psychedelics as Mudwater believes the country is in a mental health epidemic and sees psychedelics as useful tools for individuals with depression, PTSD, anxiety, and other mental health problems. We did a great episode on that. You should check it out. Mud is not wrong. Go to mudwater.com/Megyn, and that is spelled MUDWTR.com/MEGYN. Okay. MUDWTR.com/Megyn to support the show and use that code Megyn Mud for 15% off. MUDWTR.com/Megyn. Use the code Megyn Mud. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.